Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook, and today we're going to be making a new family favourite of ours in my household and hopefully yours, salt and pepper chili chicken nachos. Again, one pan, mega hit, oven proof dish to finish, minimal dishes, maximum rewards. So let's get cracking into this. If you are new to the channel, please think about subscribing. Costs you absolutely nothing. And if you can push that like button as well. And if you are new, I know I ask it all the time, but if you could just put down in the comments where you're watching from, it genuinely blows my brain where you guys watch my videos from. And it is extremely humbling. So thanks very much for that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dice up some peppers. So, and I remove the little white bit just because I find that turns quite bitter when cooked. So again, just thinly slice them. Then I'm going to go back over and cross hatch it so that you've got little pieces. And this will become apparent why we're going to do that. So this one does take probably 5 to 10 minutes prep, if that. So I've prepped my peppers. I'm now on to onions. I've got 2 small onions here. If you've got one large one, use that. Use more, use less, up to you. Again, cooking's all about your preference, not mine. This is just my guide to how the fundamentals are done. So, can't quite see it because my big fingers are in the way, but I'm slicing through the onion. And again, I'm just going to finely dice this. Hold it all together. Watch your fingers in the claw. And we go back across it. And you can see there, they're little cubes. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We've got that there. So, we've got our onions and our peppers chopped, ready to go. We now want to go on and prepare our seasoning. So, for this, you will need, 1 tablespoon of Chinese 5-spice, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. That is it. Nothing too fancy. The only thing that you may not have is the 5-spice. But I would recommend you get that because it does. If you ever are cooking any like homemade Chinese meals, MSG makes a massive difference if you watch any videos like I do. But I don't put that in. And it's the 5-spice that does make the difference. Now, whilst I was chopping, I had some oil in the pan heating up so it's nice and hot. I also have the oven on. I've got the oven on at 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, and now I'm just going to sweat down the onions and the peppers. So just let that cook. Whilst that's cooking, what we're going to do is I'm going to jump back over and show you. So just keep them going. We're going to get back over and we're going to cut the chicken. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, anytime I'm dealing with any kind of meat, I always take off any excess bits of fat, any gristly bits. Look, especially when you're dealing with chicken breast, they sometimes can be a little bone, a little bit of cartilage. So you just want to be careful and you want to check that out. I'm then going to butterfly it. Now, this is where it goes slightly off track. So there you go. Look, there's a little bit of bone actually after I had butterflied the chicken. And an extra little bit of gristle there. So just making sure. Because you're spending all this time preparing the meal, the last thing you would want is the first bite to be a bit of bone. Just puts you off, okay? So we're going to thinly slice the chicken, and then we're just going to cut it into little pieces. Because when you're having nachos, I've always found, when you're eating nachos, you want the perfect bite. You don't want to be ripping into a big bit chicken, or you want it just to be, this almost like you just shoveling it in your mouth. These are great for any late night parties. If you've got, if you're watching the big game, whatever it is, these are perfect. Okay, they can stay in the container, put them on the tray, and let everybody just help themselves. So our chicken's ready. We've sweated down. You can see there the peppers and onions have started to sweat down nicely. To this, you just want to keep an eye on it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add in our spice mixture. So give that a generous coating all over. Give it a mix, and we want to cook that through a little bit before we add in our chicken. So we're just going to let that cook a little bit. Then we're going to give it a quick stir. And after we've done that, we're just going to let that cook out a little bit. Your kitchen at this point will be smelling amazing. Now, up to you. You could add some garlic in here now. You could even add in a little bit of MSG if you've got it, to give it that almost Chinese style, full authentic salt and pepper chili chicken. I'm not. I'm just going to put the chicken in, and I'm going to spread this through, get it cooking, make sure it's all level, and let that cook through. So just get it all in the pan, keep it, make sure it's all contact, nice and flat, give it a mix so it's picking up that flavour that you've just spent that few extra minutes heating up the spices. Trust me, that makes the world of difference. So leave that, and we'll come back to that as it's been cooking. Now over, and we're going to add in the chili section. So I've just got myself a jalapeno. You can add spicier chilies. You can leave the chili out. Again, this is your preference. With this, it was quite a mild chili, and it's just more for a background heat rather than, wow, that's just blown my head off. So I'm just running the knife through it, just to, again, cut it into little bits. You don't want a massive bit of chili, but I'm just going to run it through, run the knife, watching your fingers. Then I'm going to just scoop it all up, and I'm going to put that in with the chicken and the rest of the mixture. Now, I'm going to grate some cheese. You don't need to see me grating cheese, but here you go. Nice and simple. Grate that cheese. During this, while I'm doing this, I want to just take the time to thank you all for watching and subscribing. It means the world to me. You guys taking the time to watch my videos, taking the time to put the nice comments in. I read all the comments from day one to now, and it is really humbling. I know you guys keep saying you should write a cookbook, get that out there one day. Hopefully, if the channel picks up. The goal is to get to 10,000 as the first base. Once I get to that, then we can see where we go with the rest of the videos, and we can pick it up from there. So I'm just getting the cheese ready here, you can see, but I just wanted to take this time, just while I was doing nothing really in particular there, just to say thank you very much. I hope you are, I know I say it on every video, but I hope you are looking after yourselves out there, because the world is weird and getting weirder, and there's things that are happening in the world at the minute that I never ever thought I'd see in my lifetime. So yeah, look after yourselves out there. So, bit of mozzarella, as I'm just tidying up. We've got the mozzarella, and we've just chopped it up nice and easy, and I didn't think you needed to see that bit. So we've got it all chopped and ready to go. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go back, have a look at the chicken, make sure it's all cooked. Then we're going to start layering up and getting things ready to go. So I've got some chips in the bottom of the nacho chips in the bottom. I always find that whenever I used to make nachos, there would be the one that had lots of cheese on it, and everybody would go, oh, where's that magic one? By layering it up, I found that it suddenly meant that no longer was there one mega chip. Everyone was perfect, and you could tuck in and everyone would be happy no matter where it is. So we've cooked the chicken through. You can see that chicken's done. Now it explains why. It's a nice mixture, and we're just going to go and layer up everything. And I'm going to show you the layering process, because it is important that you just, every layer you take a little bit of time with it. You want to make sure that the chicken's cooked here and everything is looking great, because the final product, the final part is what it's all about. So you've got your layer, a little spoonful. Again, you want to layer it so you're not just putting all the toppings on the top. You're almost making a natural lasagna, if that makes sense. So you're going, let me know how you guys do it. Do you guys just put nacho chips, loads of cheese, then the toppings on top? Do you layer it like this? Or is there another way? As like I said, I do it more like a natural lasagna. That's maybe I should start calling it that. I also use mozzarella, and this is a synthetic cheddar cheese, because the melting points and the mozzarella gives it an extra stringier texture. So it just balances out. It's a little bit different. So just going to continue layering up, breaking down the cheese there. More layers. This, is it healthy? No, not really. Is it mega bad for you? Again, not really. You can get low fat mozzarella. You don't have to put as much cheese in it. You could put lots more veg into it. Again, another great way of hiding vegetables, and the kids get their hands stuck into it. I always found, my kids are grown up now, or growing up, I should say, they're teenagers, that when they're younger, if they could get involved, not only in making food, but also actually not just sitting there with a knife and fork, they could get their hands in. It almost became a game, and things like this just took it to another level where you would obviously, depending on how old they are and what you were doing, but I always found if they can do things like this, it always made them eating it a lot easier. And now I'm quite blessed. They actually probably eat more and wild and varied flavours than actually I do. So we've got it there. We've topped it all off. There's our natural lasagna. One last little bit of sprinkly cheese. That goes in the oven. So zoom out a little bit so you can see it. Oven-proof dish. Get it in there. We're going to pop that in the oven, and then we're good to go. So I've took it to this point. If you want, you could take it a little bit further, melt it even more. But I've took it to this point because this is where I like it to be. And then we're just going to put some salsa and sour cream on it, and then it's good to go. You could now add in salad leaves. You could chop up some cilantro, coriander, pop that on the top. You can make it as pretty as you want. Pop it on the table. Let everybody dig in. Couple of beers if you got them. Soft drinks if you're not that way. Watch the game. Play the game, board games. Play the card game. Watch the football, American or regular football. See if you can spot Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game, whatever your fancy is, you do that. But most importantly, as always, from my family to yours, I hope you're looking after yourself and each other out there. And until the next time, Single Dad, signing off. Thanks very much for watching. And if you can, remember, please like and subscribe.